Okay, we were addressing your thesis that men are more romantic than women. Now, a couple weeks ago, I watched this ABC special. They gave 2 hours to John Gray. You know who he is? He's the Men Are From Mars, Women. He was on our show, Men Are From Mars, Women From Venus guy. And it was billed as the real world for married couples. And, and it really was. And every one of the couples had the same complaint. The women did. Their #1 complaint was the men weren't romantic anymore, that once they got what they had wanted to begin with, they stopped saying, I love you. They stopped thinking about them. They stopped focusing on them. They didn't help them. They just weren't romantic. Now, if the romance only comes because you're trying to get something, then it's not romance, is it?
Absolutely not.
Well,
I don't think
that's
so.
a good question, Billy. I think that, I tell my wife all the time that I love her and I miss her. No, I wait for the commercial, then I tell her. But I think it's, I think that's part of the deal, But it is kind of
in
manipulation.
the dating world, men are definitely more romantic because they're looking for something. They're looking for some great love and great warm feeling. I think a lot of men are in love with love. But after marriage, I couldn't tell you.
Well,
I do not know.
You're leaving out a big part then.
Well,
that's where I take up the slack, Billy.
I don't think
I turn it over to you now.
I don't think marriage should be as a single woman, I can't speak to marriage either, but I don't think that love should change whether you're married or unmarried. The Bible says no greater love has a man than this, than to lay down his life for a friend. So it's truly about giving to the other person.
Which book
and
is
the
this?
greatest, it's, the Bible.
Oh, the Bible.
You'll find it in your hotel room, in the drawer in your hotel room.
We're talking about that?
But the greatest
But now you
joy
say
in
you
that
haven't
is
been married.
No,
No,
the thing
I've
about
never
marriage
been
is
married.
this,
I'm not married.
I'll give you one brief example in marriage. The thing about marriage is this: when you definitely, I pursued my wife. I was just, I was sending telegrams.
Stalking, that's stalking.
I was stalking. And once we got past the lawsuit, it really began to cook between us.
Yeah. And how long have you been married? And your wife, we can say, is Bonnie Raitt, the beautiful, talented Bonnie Raitt. And we all...
So now, I'm not going to sing any of her songs. Now, but once you get married, what happens, I think, is that your world literally changes.
Yes, it does.
And your perception of the world changes. And it's as if you don't really think a lot about it, but because you've taken this particular action, the whole world around you definitely changes. And one of the things that I had to learn in marriage was to be educated about continuing to be romantic and continuing to offer the words like, I love you, I need you, it's nice that you're here. I like my coffee black.
And the fact that, the fact that you took the time to educate your stuff on that shows a gesture of true romance, because true romance involves sacrifice. Not taking the other person to your favorite restaurant, but maybe sacrificing and doing something that they want.
You're talking about ideals.
No, that's not ideals.
We're not really talking about what actually happens.
I think not necessarily an erotic romantic love can exist in friendship, but the kind of romantic gestures can exist in friendships when friends make sacrifices for one another.
We're not talking about friends, honey. We're talking about people who are hitting each other in the shore.
But, well, wait a minute. What about me? I'm not hitting. Yeah, I won't say that. But
right, you're a virgin, right?
Well,
Wait. Wait, as your attorney, I advise you not to answer that question.
Okay, wait a minute. But my point is, before I get married, I'm not going to be having sex with my boyfriend. He still has to be romantic, though.
Right.
So it doesn't matter whether or not you're.
Well, I guess he's going to have to be a little extra romantic, isn't he?
A little what?
He's going to have to be a little extra romantic, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, he's going to be a Christian, so he's going to know how to give sacrificial love.
Okay, well, there you have it. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
Mother proud.
All right, tomorrow we're going to have Jane Chastain, Lynn Sheriff, Francis Fisher, and Mr. Drew Carey. Okay, let me give you another example of the romantic O.J. Paula says he'd brag about my body to our friends. Quote, she may not look it, but she has...